Freedom-Tacular.
Ah!
I'm, of course, your host, Mike G, the master of the Nerdiverse. Along with me are my fellow masters of the Nerdiverse. No pussyfooting around today. Let's just go right into intros. We're going to start with the man himself, the only dude who passed through the Project Rebirth system but did not get Super Soldier Serum. Wash, what's going on, sir?
Yeah, man, I got skipped over. That sucks.
Yeah,
Happy America Day.
You got Isaiah Bradley, bro. You
Yeah,
got
man.
Isaiah Bradley. Speaking of the valedictorian of the Red Room, the Black Widow herself, Miss Tootie Odin. What's going on, Toots?
Because I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm biggity black, and I'm black, y'all. You said it, not me. I get to do it.
You don't
said
get
it
to
first.
do it. What did I?
You called me a black widow, so
That's
I was
not.
just
That's not.
I
an
was
Afri-
just
That's not
claiming
an
the
African
fame.
American widow, Doug. It's not.
What?
It's not a. You can't say that.
I can. Knock it off.
I guess she can, Doug. I guess
America
she can.
Day.
It's
America
America
Day.
She can say whatever she
You can
wants
say
to
what-
say.
It's within her
See?
constitutional right, right? She can do whatever she
Correct.
wants. I can't fight it. Apparently, fighting it only gets you killed or beat up in this country, so I wouldn't fight it if I wanted to.
Go back to your country.
They took our jobs.
They took her
They
gerb.
took our
They
job.
took our jobs. They're dirt. Damn Mongolians.
The Mongolians.
Breaking
I was
down my
literally
shit
The
is
thinking of
wild.
it the other day. I'm driving down the street. They took our
They
job.
took our jobs. Don't you just want to say that shit when you hear it? Dog?
Gerb.
Durr. Shit is so stupid. Well,
Yeah.
today we celebrate America, a country where you can literally be whatever you want to be with no fear of persecution ever. You can know that your country and your government have your best interest in mind for your health and for your mental health. So please pay your taxes and spend money into the system because we all know our government has our best interest in mind on the 4th of July during the Independence Day Freedom-Tacular. Wash your thoughts.
Well said, Mike.
Damn right. I'm an American.
I love America. I don't know what you're talking about.
I do too, for all those reasons. For all those reasons, I love it. My president was black and my Lambo was blue.
Free healthcare, schmelfcare.
Who needs it, dog? We got PBR. Why do we need free healthcare for?
That's right. Let's
That
go. Football. We got football.
We got football.
Yeah.
We got trucks.
We have a lot to talk about, is what we have.
We have
That's
a
what
ton
we
to talk
got.
about. We have
Yes, for sure.
a lot to talk about. Who wants to go first? Because I could just regurgitate my feelings over the last week, but I don't
I
want to
will
be that
go
guy.
first because I did something out of left field this week that I never do, based on some of Tootie's comments in regards to Ironheart, which I did watch 2 episodes of. But I got to thinking, what are the people being fed out there on, the primetime TV sitcoms of the world? Like, how are they portraying the people? And so I watched myself some primetime sitcoms this week. And I want to say that I watched Happy Place with Tim Allen and, Night Court, Shifting Gears, The Neighborhood, and that's it. And Happy Places with Reba McEntire. And I will say, you know what? I thoroughly enjoyed a good chunk of them. Out of the one I kept going back to, though, is actually Night Court. For some, they did an actual really good job with that. And the one I probably don't need to watch again would be Reba's Happy Place. It just kind of fell a little short of Cheers. You know what I mean? And I gave each one like 2 or 3 episodes, and wanted to just see what was out there for the normies who are
The
just sitting there
normies.
watching the primetime TV and what they're kind of being fed. And no big surprises, that's for certain, but a good chunk of diversity that I was actually glad to see
Did
throughout
you have a
the
question?
entire spectrum. Yes, sir.
Did you feel represented as an African American middle-aged man in America while watching
Yeah,
these shows?
I don't really look at it that
Did you
way,
feel
but if
fulfilled?
you're asking if
Breaking
there
news,
were
Brian. None of us do.
correct, if you're asking if, there were African American middle-aged males in the show, yes, some were
There you
lead, some
go.
were supporting
There you
characters.
go.
I mean, what?
See, it all comes full circle.
Hi,
Well,
Jojo.
Hey Joe, what's going on, sir? I would do your official introduction, but they hate it, so I'm not gonna do it. I'll do it for you later. I can't do it. They get mad. I just leave the show. So just know I'm doing it in my head for you. You get that official. You get that official commendation. Um, does it make you miss the old sitcoms of back in the day, like TGI Fridays, things like
and
that?
that's one of the reasons I went back to it is because, I do like myself a shorter television show these days, and I do prefer something that is not super duper heavy all the time. So I kind of was like, yeah, let's see what sitcoms have to offer. And, I will say that, yes, I do miss them. Like Perfect Strangers, I still sing that song
I
every
love
day.
Perfect Strangers.
Like Perfect Strangers is a great sitcom. And out of the ones that I watched, Night Court was the one that kind of got closest to that. There's also no children in it whatsoever. It's all
That's weird.
more adult type humor. But yeah, so
Cool
I thought they were.
beans.
And do they really have? I meant to actually Google this, but I didn't. Do they really have night court? Is that an actual thing in New York,
I
or is
think
that
it was back in the
just in
'80s.
Not
back in the
anymore.
80s?
Not
Not
anymore.
anymore.
No.
Okay. Were
Not-
just too many cases, and they're like, yeah, we gotta do these at night.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
Okay, well, they don't do, and coming from, and somebody who's at court a lot, they don't do criminal court cases at night. They only do civil,
civils.
if
So,
they still do any. Yeah. So your tree is on my lawn type shit.
yeah,
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so smaller like type of things. And
Yeah.
that's I guess what makes like the entire premise goofy because as a judge, Melissa Rauch, who I'm a fan of from her work at Big Bang Theory and other things, like they make her as a judge like kind of dumb. And it's like I don't know if a judge is walking
but
around
that's
kind of like
funny.
this. But when the cases are like kind of silly and whimsical and things of that nature, you know what I mean? It's not low stakes, low stakes. So,
Are
but yeah,
these modern versions of the shows? Like this is
yeah,
modern Night Court?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
brand new Night Court, brand new
Okay.
Night Court from
Okay.
yeah, this year, like 3 seasons, 2025. The neighborhood, about a dude owner, a black owner of a like phone store,
I'm not watching. I'm
shenanigans.
Teachers.
Yeah, that really wasn't that funny.
just kidding.
And then shifting
You-
gears,
You're making
also,
Teach's point.
you know,
That's not my point.
That's your point.
But
No.
you know what? That was actually in my opinion, that's pretty smart. It's a wise thing to do to see what people are actually watching now. Granted, nobody really watches sitcoms anymore, so they are kind of, I mean,
It's a
The-
lost start.
talking,
It's a lost start.
you're,
You know.
kind
you're
of
asking,
the people
if
that are
prime
watching
time is-
these. Go ahead.
you're asking if prime time is still relevant, if the medium in itself is still relevant. And I guess that's why I went to primetime television versus a Netflix comedy, is because primetime television should technically still be accessible to the masses, even if you got your rabbit ears on your 1980s television.
Mhm.
You should still be able to pick up a channel CBS wherever you are and
Right.
watch the local whatever.
Yeah, it's like trying to
Right.
watch music
Old people
videos.
TV. That's
yeah,
basically.
it's like trying to watch music videos now. Like, what does a music video look like in 2025?
No
You know,
idea.
no idea. It's a lost start. They just don't do them anymore.
No idea.
You know,
Whatever.
it's high.
Damn it! I was
No,
like
they
the
still
circus.
make them.
They're just,
What's
yeah.
his name? The
Like Hype-
Weekend.
Is this
What's the
Hype
Weekend's
Williams?
thing? That's the
Yeah,
only
he's
thing.
just-
When you
no,
say
no.
that with videos, is what
No,
is that?
That was at the Super Bowl. Remember, he was in all the
That's the
glass.
Super Bowl. The
Yeah,
glass.
he
Okay,
got-
all right.
He,
Well,
he was having a panic attack in the glass. He's
Yeah.
in the mic. In the camera was like this close to his face. Hey, what's going on, Mike Prime? Welcome, sir. Mike Prime is in the house. all the salutes.
Happy America Day.
Happy America Day, Mike Prime. You know what I'm saying?
So what'd you all get up to this week?
Man, did you guys watch Predator: Killer of Killers?
So he's cringy, right?
No.
Who's cringy?
Weekend.
Uh,
All right. Hi, Pops.
I'm not a fan.
I don't know. It's all right. I like the trilogy.
Yep.
His
Can
first-
you guys hear?
Oh, we lost. Toots dropped out, but we're gonna try to get.
Well, I mean, first time in 2 weeks.
Hey,
That ain't bad.
that ain't bad. I'm just making sure to see if my setup is freaking out.
Actually, Mike didn't even sweat. He's like, "Oh, this ain't me. This gotta be her. You didn't even jump.
It's never
You
not me. So this is.
you
this
were
is
confident."
this is a whole different ball game now that I've kind of worked the kink side of everything. But I'll wait for Toots to get back. But yeah, I like
But
the
no,
Weeknd.
in answer
Listen to the Weeknd's first album. It's really good. It's called like the trilogy, where he has where he's doing kind of learning how to be the Weeknd, where he wins. Weeknd's weird because he'll win like the kids choice awards, but all he sings about is like getting high and being horrible to women. You know what I mean? I can't feel my face when I'm with you. Like when
it's an art. You know what I mean? Poetry.
we just lost Toots. Everybody stay calm. Nobody look at my face. It's like a Dave Chappelle skit. Keep calm, and it's the Independence Day Freedom-Tacular. Other than I watched, Toots is back. There we go. Let's go get Toots back. Let's get Toots back.
I mean, she is back. I have her.
Yeah, she's back. Add her back to the system. Toots has returned.
Just lost Toots. Everybody stay calm.
Toots is.
I got a
Am I back?
echo.
Yep, I got an echo though. Oh, we're good. Say something,
right.
Toots.
That's because we're back. Hi.
Hey. Dancing phalanges.
So no, I
Yeah,
did not
I'm on
watch
mad delay
Predator.
for whatever
Sorry.
reason, guys.
Try going back and coming back in. Maybe that'll fix it today.
I literally just did that. I just did that, but I'll do it again.
Okie dokie. Yeah.
Did you just hear me?
Yeah.
Wait, say something.
Okay, then we're good. It just needs to catch up. I think
Yeah,
we're caught up now.
Okay,
we're good.
man.
We're caught up now.
We're good, baby.
No, that was a bad lag. Yeah, before I bounced out, it was really bad. But all right, good. We're good.
Cool beans. So if you hear explosions or like sirens or anything in the background, it's the 4th of July. So just be aware if you hear big booms.
Big one.
Last night I thought they had like an American Revolutionary cannon going off every 3 minutes, man. I mean, it was
Big
loud.
booms.
How old are you,
Like 9.
old man?
I'm like
What
9.
is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. I just.
No. And by the way, a testament to the way the country is feeling right now, especially, well, I can't really speak for the country. Rest of the country is having a good ass time. California, specifically Los Angeles County, is not. It's quite quiet here. The quietest it's ever been in years.
It's a
Like
quiet
normally it's World War III outside already, and
Yeah.
I suppose because we were this close to World War III in real life, nobody's ready.
Everybody's like, we kind of almost all died last week, so let's maybe not wild out this.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah,
What's
it's
going
really
on?
quiet.
What's going on,
Very
B-Rye?
eerie.
What's going on, Bradley and Brian? Those are two people who need to meet at some point in the universe.
Is
so.
Bradley here? Yay!
Yeah, he just came
Hell yeah.
through.
Let's do it.
Man, okay.
Hell
now that
yeah.
oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
I would do that only once a year, and that was the one time. And Toots brought it out, so everyone blame Toots. That's fine. Did anybody do their homework? Did anybody watch Predator: Killer of Killers? Can we
No,
talk
I just
about
told you what I watched.
Damn it. Toots says, I live.
No, just a little bit that you and I watched last Sunday because I wanted to check out the actual animation style. No, but I did not check it out after that, and I should have because it is actually the animation style is insane. I
It's
love it.
super good. It's
Yeah,
real
it's
good.
really good.
It's really
But the
good.
answer is no.
That's
I had
okay.
other things to watch.
I will wait, Doug. Um,
Yeah.
s- so one thing we wanted to bring up and just talk about, what's your favorite movie set on the 4th of July? What's your favorite movie set on the 4th of July? There's a few. There's a few. But they're all super bangers. I'll
They're all
start.
bangers.
I'll start.
They're all bangers. Yeah, you start
I'm going to start with ID4, which is probably the best 4th of July movie of all time. You know
without
what I'm
question.
saying? Without
Without
question.
question.
Welcome to Earth, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to Earth. He punches an alien in the face. There's a dog that dodges subway explosions. The White House explodes. Maybe that's a little too close to home right now. But it's great. It's the best 4th of July movie ever. To me, I can watch ID4 all the time. You know what I mean? It's just, remember how important it was back in the day? How the movie trailers were all crazy and there was all these giant signs in LA. It was a whole what to do.
Yeah.
ID4 was super big back in the day. It was like a big deal.
I mean, I just looked it up and I cheated. It's like there's some
That's
pretty
okay.
good movies made on the 4th of July.
Hmm.
If we're gonna go best ever 4th of July, I do like Independence Day, but I'm gonna have to take Jaws.
Ooh, that's my second. Shout
Yeah,
outs to.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and just do a whole Jaws thing because there's nothing better than sitting at the beach with a big shark eating people. We're going to need a bigger boat.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Farewell and to do to ye old Spanish
Spanish
ladies.
lady.
Farewell to do to you ladies of Spain.
5 kids go into the water.
One kid comes out of the water.
1 kid comes out of the water.
Is Jaws a perfect movie? Yay or nay? I think it's perfect.
Yes.
Yeah,
Jaws 1, like,
It's
kind.
literally the reason every single human being is terrified of the ocean.
Mhm.
Without argument.
Without argument.
Jaws. Without argument.
Jaws.
Jaws is why we're afraid of the water.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
I can't swim, so that's why I'm afraid of the ocean, not necessarily Jaws.
It's like
So,
Riptide, Jaws.
yeah, yeah, that's my reason. Just as an FYI.
Holy shit. Yeah. Oh, man. Have you ever been caught in a riptide? It's not fun at all, man.
It's terrible. It's
It's
exhausting.
terrifying. It's exhausting and
It's
terrifying.
so exhausting and it's terrifying. I remember me, Steph, and Jeremy got caught in one, and we were like, "Oh, we're never gonna make it."
We're
We
just gonna
just
die.
literally just kept getting pulled in further and further. We're like, "This is
Out.
impossible. How are we gonna do it?"
Yep.
And then some surfer came by, just walk sideways, and then it worked. Like you just walk sideways,
Yeah.
and then little by little you go up the shore. Yeah,
That
terrifying.
guy,
It's actually
that guy was an
terrifying.
angel. You know that, right?
Yeah,
That wasn't a human
probably
being.
an angel,
That was
right?
probably
Yeah.
an angel sent by God that saved
He
you
came out of
3 life.
nowhere. I mean, there were surfers around us, but not one of them was paying attention to us because they were in. There was the waves were mad. They were super massive. So, yeah. So it's just guys, just some surfer walking by, walk sideways. He didn't help, but that helped. That saved our lives. Like he didn't stand there and watch. He just told walks. He just kept walking
Yeah.
and told us to walk sideways, and we did. So we're like, all right.
That was an angel
Yeah.
sent by God. I like, and I have moments where I feel like angels have actually came to me in a moment of need, and I've never seen these humans ever again. Like angels are real, right? Like people who just show up in your life randomly and give you sage wisdom or help you in a certain moment. You never see them again. You know what I'm saying?
I was standing in a Ralph's by the deli aisle with an old boss, and it was the Ralph's on the west side. Can't remember the street. God, that's sad. At any rate, I'm like, I've only been gone 14 months, Brian, and it's
It's
like,
okay.
oh shit, it's
Was it
gone.
worth?
At
Was
any
it worth
rate,
memory?
the giant Ralphs, and I'm standing at the aisle, the deli aisle with my boss, and the door is way over there, and I'm just looking at the door, and this surfer dude comes walking in the door. He walks through about 6 dozen people. He walks directly up to me, and he goes, you're gonna be like Samuel, bro. You're gonna read from the word and tell people about the word. And then he like turned around and he like walked out the store. And I'm like looking at him. I'm in my suit and whatnot. I look at my boss. I'm like, did you see that? And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like,
Yeah, you got visited by an actual angel, dog. He put you on the
that
path.
was weird, man. That
Yeah.
was so weird. That was so weird.
If you're paying attention, the world is full of mysteries and miracles,
Yeah,
man. You
for
just got to
sure.
be paying
100%.
attention, bro.
Yeah.
This dude Bradley said, I went to the Navy and still can't swim. Fuck Jaws. Yo, Bradley,
I'm telling you, I
Bro,
feel like
that's
that's a
a rough go.
requirement.
Like,
I'm
how'd you-
almost confident that's a requirement.
Yeah, man. How'd you graduate out of military school? You can't out of Navy school and you can't swim. Like, did
That's
you
a rough go, man.
like don't they make you have to know? Like in the Navy?
I thought so too.
Yeah.
I guess you can get real lucky. You know what I mean? And just not have to do like a lot of swim work.
he
and
was
just
that
get
damn
lucky.
good. Bradley
I
was
tried to
that
join the
damn
Navy,
good.
and a recruiter came to my house. 2 recruiters came to my house, gave me some assessment tests, and I failed the math portion of the test. So they
That'll
were like,
do it.
"Yeah, we can't take you." Yeah,
This man said, long story,
Yeah.
dog.
it was a short, skinny white dude and this giant black dude.
Mhm.
Giant. He was massive. I was a lot smaller back then, but still, dude was massive. Like he almost like hit. He was like a half an inch away from like the top of the doorway. I'll never forget it. In their white ass Navy suits. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. They were
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they
Never
were like
forget
I'm little Seymour, and he walked in, and I'm Big Percy. And they just was like, you want to join the Navy, motherfucker? Toots was like, yeah. Sign this shit. They be really trying to gangster you up, dude.
Yeah, I should have told them, look, man, I can't do math, but I can swim.
I can't do
You know?
math,
I
but
can swim.
but
can
I
swim
will
like the Dickens.
I will swim and I will kill on demand. You just guys let me know
Yeah,
what you need.
exactly.
We kind of need the math though. They just walk.
Exactly. They were like, we can't. I'm sorry. Like, what? All right.
What?
I guess you need math. Yeah, well, I mean,
kind of need the math.
shout
though.
out to our military men, especially in the Navy, because
Who are
apparently you guys know how to do math. 'Cause-
Super good at math, apparently.
yeah,
dog.
super good at math.
I
Hell yeah.
guess though. That sucks. Sign me up, dude. I want to fight for my country in the water, in naval battles. They were like, no,
Splash fight.
splash fight, gasoline fights and shit, like in Zoolander. You know what I'm saying? Oh
Oh, that's
snap!
funny. So yes, I agree. Independence Day is probably number 1 for me. Jaws would be number 3. Number 2 for me is Sandlot. Technically not a
Ooh.
4th of July movie, but also absolutely definitely a 4th. It's not surrounded by 4th of July.
It's a
But it has
summer
one of-
movie.
It's definitely a summer movie and has one of the most iconic summer scenes ever. You feel every bit of it. I love it so much when they're about to play baseball and the whole block's together and everybody's getting along, everybody's eating, everybody's having a good time. Like I miss that. Like we had that in the 80s. The kids not so much now. Now it's a little bit different. Now it's a little bit more corporate and a little bit more saturated with pictures and whatnot. So it's
The trainers, social media influencers.
No,
You
it's
know
like-
what
Yeah.
I mean?
You know what I'm
Little
saying?
6-year-old. Hey,
thing
this is how you bat. Now go ahead. You know, I got
Exactly,
fans. What are you
exactly.
gonna do?
the thing is
Yeah.
parents are putting on performances now. They're not necessarily just spending time doing what they're going to do with their kids. You know what I mean? Like the way I remember my dad did with us. Like there's so many mischievous things my dad did with us when it came to fireworks and stuff that was never on camera, was never because it wanted to go viral. It was simply because my dad was just trying to have fun with his kids. So I think our kids today will have similar memories. Don't get me wrong. There's still good parents out there that only want to build memories with their family, but there's always going to be a camera in front of it from this point on. So we have to
Yeah.
face that too. So it is a little bit different.
Yeah,
You know, it's a little bit different. So not so organic the way it seems in the Sandlot movie. So yeah, Sandlot is number 2 for me.
the SoFi presents the block party. You know what I mean? Where they close off both sides of the street. You know what I mean? Dude,
Right.
Dude, are
Yeah.
block parties still a thing? I don't think so.
Yeah, absolutely. I have family at a block party now. Yeah. Yeah. Block
Really?
parties are still a thing. Yep.
God,
A
I
lot
miss
of people
block
are doing them
parties.
today.
Yeah, that was a good bit of childhood, wasn't it? You know,
Mhm.
they would have like food out, and there'd be like a jumper and super soakers, and you know what I'm saying? Like your parents would just be at the house. All right, go outside and play until it gets dark, and then come in.
Mhm.
You'd be at the
Somebody's swimming pool. Yeah.
Yeah, that one neighbor with the swimming pool. Everybody goes to their house, and back then, all the parents would watch all the kids. It was very communal. It was
Right.
it was a village. You know what I'm saying? nowadays, like you said, parents are so preoccupied with either making content or shielding their children that it's a lot harder for these kids to get to know each other, really, because they're all behind the
Yeah.
screen. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's tough.
COVID didn't help. The COVID years didn't help
Nah,
either.
not
So
at
we have to
all.
give our kids some grace.
Yeah, 100%. 7 generations from now, there'll be block parties again. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
97 generations, Doug. You know, where little Uzi Vert is seen as some kind of eldritch god or something because they don't know. You know,
I just want to rock.
I just want to rock. Body. Ah. It's going to be like sung by like a choir because they're going to think he's some kind of like deity.
In church. Yeah. Wow.
Name one
Wow.
celebrity that you know for a fact aliens will think is a god in the turbo future. When
Kanye
we're
West.
Kanye? You think once we're all gone and there's just like a microchip with all of our data, they're gonna assume like Kanye's was one of our gods?
Yeah. You want to know why?
Hmm.
Because Kanye said it too much.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this is a hot take, but would people think Jesus Christ was the Son of God as much if he didn't keep saying it over and over and over again? What if he kept it to himself?
He sort of did. The disciples spread the word.
Yeah,
He
a
as
hype
much as
man.
he did, he didn't. He didn't have enough time. He did it. Let's put it this way: as far as timeline goes, he did it for about 6 months. Then he died, and then it was up. It was up to everybody else.
That was
You know
a
what I
lit
mean?
6 months. That was a lit 6 months.
I mean, obviously the timeline's wrong, but yeah, that's kind of
'Cause-
exactly what it was.
Because, you know, don't celebrate Christmas is what Toots is saying because that's not his real birthday. That's something they arranged to get more pagans.
It's really not. It's really not his real birthday, but still celebrate Christmas. Also, Jews celebrate Jewish Day. What is it? Hanukkah. I know that. I should know that
You know that. Look,
because I celebrate it.
keep the Sabbath holy, you heathens.
Yeah. God damn it.
Damn it.
The Lord.
The Lord. Was there anything 4th of July in Forrest Gump? Am I missing something?
Well, they did go to the Washington Monument. I'm not sure if it was on 4th of July, but it was either at the end of Vietnam War or there was some obviously patriotic, things about it. But yeah, the war in fucking Vietnam. That guy, remember that guy?
Vietnam. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Anarchy in the UK guy. The guy rules.
Yeah, the Anarchy in the UK guy, but he was in America and he looked like John Lennon.
Yeah, it was supposed to be John Lennon.
I was gonna bring it up, but it actually is a great movie, but it's one of those that I just never want to watch again. Born on the 4th of July. I used to own that movie. That is an intense freaking movie. I watched it as like a 10-year-old. Like I got this VHS. Born on the 4th of July, and it's like, holy crap, you know what I mean? Yikes. Yes. And so, yeah, Born on the 5th of July is if you've never seen it, I would definitely, I don't know if it would still ring true today, but yikes. Yikes, that's an intense movie. Oliver Stone back in the day, man. Like his name was on it, and you were like, "Oh, this is gonna be an intense few hours."
Isn't it crazy all that really messed up movies we watched because our parents just had them around? Like, one of my earliest memories was watching like Full Metal Jacket, bro. And I watched that like.
I love Full Metal Jacket.
I was single digits watching Full Metal Jacket.
Oh my god, that's such a good movie.
Holy shit! My little brain could not handle it.
Of Mice and Men.
The Deer Hunter.
Ooh, that's a good
one of my mom's fan favorites. We used to have that thing going on repeat, and it's like, come on.
Why am I watching this?
That's funny.
Someone please think of the children. Will someone please?
I don't think I've seen that one. Deer Hunter?
Deer Hunter? Oh, yeah. With William Dafoe. Oh, classic. You need to check that out. That's one of those 1980 like turned out the movies. Get the lights, like get yourself some popcorn and settle in, because that you're gonna be like, oh shit.
William Dafoe in the 1980s is all cocaine, so it's probably a good movie.
99% cocaine. My man was what my dad would say, chasing the dragon.
Wow.
And that was 1978 film, actually.
Yeah, it's
fun.
Oh no, yeah.
Christopher Walken, De Niro,
I was gonna say Christopher Walken was in that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't make them like that anymore, bro.
No, they don't.
No.
I happened to turn on my HBO. I did not watch it because, I did try and have some other content things. But I see that Sinners is now available on HBO if you did not know.
I
Have
know.
either of you watched it?
I
Not yet.
know, and I still haven't watched it. I just have
You
no
haven't watched
desire, dog. I don't know what it is about
Really?
that movie.
Okay.
Really?
I don't know
Hold
what it
on to that
is.
thought, Brian, because when we get to this next topic, I'm going to bring this back up.
I don't.
Remind
Okay.
Okay.
he did not watch Sinners
You know
yet.
what? Okay.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
say this. I'll say this. It was either Sitters or the Old Guard 2, starring Uma Thurman in what's her face, Charlize Theron. I liked Old Guard 1, so I went to see what Old
Yes.
Guard 2 was talking about. I
We
watched Old
reviewed
Guard
Old
2.
Guard 1.
Yes.
And I texted you when the trailer for Old Guard
Yeah,
2
we
came
were
out, and I'm
hyped.
like, look, no, that was like, this movie's going to be trash.
Yeah.
Look at what they did to this movie.
Yeah.
Let the record show that Mike chose a movie
And you
with two
watched it.
blonde white women as opposed to a movie about black folks. A
You know
very
what?
well written movie about black
Okay.
folks.
Okay.
He
Okay.
chose the two blonde white women, ladies and gentlemen.
It's okay. Let's talk about independence, right? Let's talk about the right of freedom, the freedom to choose.
Freedom. Freedom.
I chose two kung fu fighting Anglo-Saxons versus black trauma, and I just didn't
Oscar
feel like
winners,
being
too.
in the mood. I just didn't want to be in that mood for that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, let's
gotta
bring
be-
up Ironheart. Let's get there. Let's throw the
Fine.
meat out there and let's chew it up. Let's eat it up because
Let's
this
do
is
it.
the whole reason why we're doing this. This is the whole reason why we're doing this. I need to hear your thoughts on Ironheart. And yes, I watched the last 3 episodes. And I know exactly what you're talking about when it comes to now her villain arc starts.
Okay.
Like, what the fuck was that? Brian, did
Okay.
you watch any of it?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So, me and Toots. Okay, just precursor. We had a really big talk about Ironheart last week. We were talking about leading into stereotypes, the assassination of black actors in Hollywood, what they're doing with the show, all that. My brain says and just full transparency, I don't care about any of that. Is it a good show? 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 And I watched the first 3 episodes, and I think I remember saying I was kind of shaken by the first episode, but by episode 3, I was kind of like, okay, I kind of want to see what they're doing. Like Toots, I watched all 6 episodes. I needed to know. And why can't Marvel, and this hurts because I'm such a Marvel fan, and Watch will tell you, why can't Marvel just stick the landing with these Disney Plus shows? Like, they just can't do it. Even the good ones have sucky endings. You know what I mean? And it's like, the ending to Ironheart, by the way, we're spoiling the hell out of this. So if you haven't seen it and you would like to watch it, still watch the show and don't leave. I don't want to see that viewer count drop. But just earmuffs for a while. I liked everything about the show other than the main protagonist and the main antagonist. If that makes sense. I can't stand the main protagonist and I can't stand the main antagonist. Go.
Because I haven't finished it, I just want to say, to your points last week in regards to the show, I actually like the show.
Yeah.
I think that the show is broken from a editing and logistical standpoint. There are some things happening in the show and people popping up in places that literally just make no sense whatsoever within the show. And thus, for me, I'm like, kind of, what the hell's going on with this show? But I just wanted to throw that in there. That's literally like my only 2 cents. But I actually like the show. I did not find the conversation last week as I've seen worse. I'll put it that way.
I mean, you've seen
sure.
work,
Yeah.
of course.
For
Yeah.
sure.
But what it gives this air that the writers really thought they were cooking, and these writers hadn't really no real grasp on the current African American culture, and they really thought they were cooking. Because for a while, it's almost like bad Hideo Kojima writing, where it's like, why is she fighting the Hood? This is not a Riri Williams Iron Man villain. He's very dark, magical Doctor Strange type shit, right?
You
And I-
could have easily taken her out several times.
And I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, Riri Williams is fighting the Hood. She's fighting. Somebody thought they were cooking, though. And it's so bad when you say it out loud. Somebody was like, she's gonna use black girl magic to destroy the Hood.
I
She's gonna,
hated that, by the
she's
way.
gonna,
I hate why?
it-
Why are you so on the nose with the bullshit?
because
Why?
that's my
We
problem.
can figure it out on our own.
Figured it out Saturday
Saturday
nights at
nights,
8,
8
at 8
p.m.
p.m.
live.
You know what I'm talking about.
Anyway,
Yes.
we all of this can be assumed. We don't need black girl magic. You know what I mean? You might as well throw some Afro sheen or whatever you want in order to just make sure the black girl magic works. Like if you want to go hard with the stereotypes, go hard with the stereotypes. I hated it. I hated that. Like if they wanted to really pull that off, they could have done it a different way. Where do you see black girl magic in any comic books? First
Well,
of all. So
well, there's a lot of black girl magic in comic books, though.
no, Mike, you're being facetious. That's not what I'm talking
No.
about. I'm not talking about black people exist and they're doing great things. I'm talking about what they specifically try to do. You're trying to
now,
pull away from what they try to do specifically, and all they tried to do is pander. I don't appreciate the pander. If they were trying to do that, Latina corn, let's put some cheese on it, fool. If they try to do that with Mexicans, we'd be like, what the fuck is this? And again, not be offended, not be angry about it, but be like, well, that's stupid. That's dumb. That's silly. And that's how I feel about this. It's silly. Why are you pandering to an audience that doesn't exist?
Well,
That's dumb.
I've been waiting to have this conversation for a really long time. So pandering, right? Pandering is I would say extreme marketing. Every single business panders to someone. When you see those like a rock commercial and it's for the Mountain Arrow, who do you think they're pandering to? Not my broke black ass.
White men, right? They're
Exactly.
pandering to white men. So that's what I'm saying. So we
It's
can
always
pinpoint
pandering.
we can pinpoint these stereotypes, right?
Yeah,
But
we're got good
to
at
do it in a commercial that is selling you something is different than to do it in a show that is simply trying to tell a story.
No, this is
That's
not
way
simply trying to tell
different.
a story.
I know that.
This is trying
I
to
know
sell you
that.
something. It's selling
I
you.
know that. That's my point.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I'm
selling you.
saying.
It's selling you black trauma. It's selling you whatever merch they can pull off to get off the fucking shelves, on the lower level. But I mean, it's selling you black trauma
Let's
that
rewind it
either
back.
exists or doesn't exist.
Let's rewind it back. So, I want to talk about Riri Williams. Riri Williams, the main character of this story, the Iron Heart, which they never say once. By the way, they never call her by her comic book name. That annoys me. I hate when they do that. They did that in Fantastic
Yeah,
Four.
but that opening was cool when they threw her on the ground and they rolled
Bro,
out.
they
to the
wrote
cement.
Ironheart.
It was
No.
that was dope.
Don't
anyway.
get me wrong. There's super good stuff in this series. This series is so meticulous with its design. This is some of the best Iron Man work I've seen since maybe Infinity War, I want to say. Like the armor work they do for her suit is absolutely beautiful.
That's true. Yeah.
The little things they do with the backgrounds and say what you want about Black Girl Magic, but that scene where they flip and go into the other dimension, that was really cute. I thought that was kind of cool. They brought up Strange Academy and all that kind of stuff. Like the pluses of the show don't outweigh the minuses because your main character cannot be the way she is. So Riri Williams takes a lot from the story of Tony Stark, and I think this is by design. Through the show, it's all about her dealing with her trauma and PTSD of a situation she's had. So she's doing the whole Iron Man 2. I'm having a panic attack inside of the armor. I need to get out my armor. I need to get some air. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, we've done this before, but I get it, right? But the problem with Riri is that she is a hero that you cannot root for outside of the camera. It's like the camera wants you to root for her and have her back, and she has her best interest in mind. But Riri's one of those heroes, and I can't think of another hero like it off the top of my head, where she's constantly digging herself a deeper hole until she digs the deepest hole you possibly can in Marvel Comics.
Deadpool would be the closest.
Well, Deadpool is breaking fourth walls, and he is the hole. Deadpool is the hole in which he dig, But Riri
All right, well,
is making
you can
mistake
ask-
after mistake.
Answer me this question about the premise of the show and the timeline and when it takes place, because it did not make any sense to me. You got Riri, who I love as a character, loved her in Black Panther,
used to.
whatever. We're the Ironheart,
Stand her now.
right? But I don't understand with what we've seen within Marvel and how the Marvel group as a whole, very family orientated, very I got your back. She went to Wakanda And what? She's just at MIT by herself, broke now, and like no contacts. Like the absurdity of that whole premise is what is really like that triggered me at the
Well,
get go. I'm like,
Wash,
what
it's like, welcome to Wakanda, bring money. They just kicked her out, dog. She's not
what?
Wakandan. She has no ties. And they're so, and that is an isolated culture. They don't want nobody up in there. Riri shouldn't have been there in the first place. So they weren't going to help her out. There's even a scene in this show where they're like,
She
hey, Riri,
she
why don't
helped save the they kept Bucky there for
bro,
like 10 years,
that was,
bro.
he was invited
Like
to the barbecue, dog.
she
She loves it.
like
He was
she
invited to the
helped
barbecue.
save
Happy 4th of July.
Wakanda.
No,
Like
there's even a scene in this show where she's like, "Oh, don't get me started on her AI. We'll talk about that soon. Fucking Pet Cemetery shit." Where the
She
AI is like,
fucked
"What?"
up.
The AI was like, "Why don't you just call Siri? She'll help you out." And then she goes to this whole little talk track of Siri being like, "I don't want to help you with some magical guy with a cape who floats around that you can't handle. Handle your shit." So that was the whole. Why not just call the Wakandans to fix this problem? So no, Reeve's on her own because she has to be independent and strong and make her decisions and not listen to anybody but listen to everybody. She does so many people dirty. She almost reminds me of like Michael Weston. I hate to bring up Burn Notice, but they're very similar characters where it's like they're brilliant as hell, but they will screw you over if you let them. You know, she screwed over so many people in this series, and she's made her own villains very Tony Stark like. You know what I mean? Like she resurrects. Okay, so the whole thing is that her father-in-law or her best friend died in a drive-by. Has to
Her
be a drive-by.
stepdad.
Her stepdad died a drive-by at their old shop, and she accidentally creates an AI that is just a death mask of her best friend, and it's her best friend. They literally pulled it from her brain, and it's literally just a ghost. It's a digital ghost, right? So she's like, "I don't want you to be here. You shouldn't be here. You're not whoever's name is." And the thing is like, but I'm white, yo. It's me, dog. What are you talking about? It's me.
She's not white.
No, I'm just saying. I was doing a
No, I know, but people could be confused by
You
that.
might
So.
no. She was very African American and had a ton of
I
sass.
think
And
her name is
probably
Natalia or Natalie, one of the other.
Natalie.
Natalie.
So there's a scene where where Natalie's brother, who knows his sister's dead, sees the AI. Is like, what the hell is that? Oh, that's Natalie. That's her. Check it out. What the hell did you do? Riri, you got to stop this. This is evil. This is horrible. This is not my sister. What are you doing? What have you been doing? You'll get used to it after a while. Your dead sister being resurrected as an AI. And it's like, and the AI is talking back to them. Like, so what are you going to do? Like instigating. And he's like, well, just control, alt, delete. Delete the damn thing. And the AI's like, so you're going to delete me?
As
And it's like,
as
what the
someone
fuck? It's so
who
bad.
literally talks to AI every day, probably more hours than what's probably necessary in general and not hours. Like I found that the writing and the conversations between Riri and the AI actually rang true. Like some of the
Oh.
frustrations Riri was having with the
Yeah,
AI
Brian,
not
how do you
doing
think the
things.
writers are writing the show?
I wouldn't be surprised at all. In fact, if you wanted to save money, but don't shoot the messenger, I said this 10 years ago. Whatever. Eh, Brian and his crazy ideas. At any rate, so I found that some of that actually rang true as far as the back and forth went. But I can see how, some folks might have a problem with it. The pet cemetery aspect of it, I don't know if it was necessary. You know what I mean? I
You know what
guess
it
there's a
is?
reason for its story
Yes.
was, but
In the comics, it's supposed to be Tony Stark. In the comics, it's actually Tony Stark as her AI mentor. And he's kind of
that would
teaching
make
her the
more
ropes of being an
sense.
Iron Man, right? Because some reason Brody is off in space or dead or some bullshit. Marvel
Okay,
comic stuff.
where did you find this out at?
That's in the comics.
Oh, but you didn't read the comics, so did you look it up or?
Well, no, it's one of those things where one of the most famous images of Riri Williams in the comics is her with a digital Tony Stark behind her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like she has this big afro. She's wearing a red tank top. It's like the iconic Riri Williams picture. And there's a digital Tony Stark behind her as like a AI, kind of like a Friday Jarvis kind of entity.
Makes sense.
and he
Okay.
lives in the
Well,
suit.
because you said you didn't know anything about her last
No,
week. Now you're coming up with all this. That's why I'm asking. Like, did you research it? Like, what
no,
did you
just
research? How did you
out,
find it?
out of osmosis. I just something that I don't know anything about
Oh,
her.
so you're making it up.
No, I can pull up the picture right now.
Oh,
You
okay.
know me, I don't make anything up. I just pull it out the ether of the nerdiverse. It's
Interesting.
there.
You could have pulled
Yeah,
it out last week. You just chose not to.
I
So
didn't think of it. I was thinking of Riri Williams as a person,
got it.
not the storyline of her in deep detail. But yeah, it's something that was part of the comics. But it's not like they're going to get Robert Downey to do 6 episodes of anything. So I guess they had to fill that gap with something.
He did make a phone call.
He did do that. That
He
was
did you see that? I don't know if it's real.
cute.
He was like,
It was
if you don't
cute.
like the show, you're racist. I don't think that's real. I don't think he said that.
Well, I didn't see that. I don't think he said that.
I know. I saw something. It was on X. Nothing's real on X. The last thing I want to say about Ironheart is the ending. And Wash, do you want to check out? Do you
Yeah,
care?
go ahead. Whatever. Knock yourself out, man.
All
That's
right,
fine.
all right. Let's talk about Mephisto. Let's just talk about
Actually,
Mephisto.
it's mostly been spoiled for me, I think.
Well, that happens. That just happens. Mephisto shows up, which is probably the most important thing in this entire series. Before I get started, Toots, what were your thoughts on Mephisto?
Man, he was the best part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Mephisto was easily the best part of the show, but kind of sucks that they didn't really do shit with him.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened there. I did like the little thing that they did with the where he's steering his tea or his coffee or
see his
whatever,
true
and then
visage, right?
you see his true self in the spoon. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot. But yeah, a great character. Sacha Baron Cohen is a great actor. Like I
Yeah.
feel like that guy can do anything. But no, yeah. I was anticipating this character to come about. Could have seen more of him. That would have been sweet. But
A
yeah,
tease.
all overall, I like Mephisto. It's a shame that I didn't watch the end teaser. I know there was an end teaser, but I didn't see it. So I don't know if he's in it or not. I don't know if they're going to imply that there's going to be any type of origin story when it comes to Mephisto. But it'd be a shame if they didn't, because that's pretty cool ass character.
Yeah, he's
I
one
liked
of
him a lot.
he's one of my favorite villains in Marvel comics, like up there with Doom and Magneto. Mephisto is uh Mephisto is one of those villains where he's bothered every single superhero community that there is. Like he's interdimensional super demon that just makes deals with everyone. And he's kind of omnipotent and all powerful type bullshit. Um One of the biggest no-nos you can make in Marvel Comics is making a deal with Mephisto. If you know Ghost Rider, Ghost Rider made his deal with Mephisto, which is why his hair he turns into a flaming skull whenever he needs to have vengeance. Spider-Man made a deal with Mephisto in Brand New Day, or One More Day. I forget the name of it. It's so stupid. Where him and Mary Jane had to split up for all eternity, so he can't be with Mary Jane
Yeah,
anymore.
one more day.
Yeah, Mephisto signed that deal. And I mentioned before how Mephisto had to be defeated by Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom in hell because he had to save Doctor Doom's mom. Like, he's a problem, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he's super cool. And he's one of those characters that everybody's been waiting for. Like, when are we going to get Mephisto? When are we going to get Mephisto? We thought we were going to get him in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. We didn't. You know what I mean? But we get him.
So my question, that since you're spoiling, are we going to get him in Fantastic Four or Avengers Endgame, or does Ironheart just kind of end and you're like, we're just not going to be, we don't know if we're getting any of this anymore,
You
like
don't.
just over there,
Well,
you know
you
what
don't
I
sign
mean?
somebody
Or
like Sacha Baron Cohen for one episode.
yeah, that's valid. Okay, that's
So, like,
okay. That's
logistically,
valid.
he's going to show up somewhere.
That's valid.
I don't know.
I don't believe it.
Valid.
He'll show up somewhere. Like, it's
I don't believe it.
Mephisto.
Sorry.
He's a big
Okay,
villain.
first of all, you guys have to remember this series was filmed and wrapped in 2021.
Yeah,
This has been done for years.
years.
There is no guarantee. That contract could very much be up by now. There is no guarantee or promise that Mephisto is coming back by any means. Let's be logical about this whole thing. It's been filmed, done for at least 4 years solid. So, yeah. No, I don't see it. Sorry.
Well, only
All right.
time will tell. Oh, one last thing. The villain is one of the most one of the most non-threatening villains I've ever seen. The Hood. He's
Dude,
not threatening at all.
he was in another movie
He
too,
was
So
playing a
Hamilton.
bad guy,
So,
and he
so
also
annoying.
wasn't good. And I'm
No,
like, I couldn't remember what the other movie
he is.
was. I didn't look it up, but I'm like, I've seen you do something like this
He
before, and it
is.
didn't work.
This was the Hood. Don't.
Okay.
Like that was.
Okay.
Stop it.
Stop it. Hey, with those beautiful eyes, he's just like,
Like,
please stop
yeah.
it. Like he's not threat. Like that's the like Marvel's usually really good with casting. Say what you want about Riri. The actor
I
who
like
plays
Riri.
her is
She
well
was
casted.
casted fine.
Yeah,
She was written wrong.
written wrong. Let's call a spade a
She was
spade.
casted fine. She
That's
was written
maybe
wrong.
maybe I shouldn't say spade a spade. Anyway, um, the Hood was probably some of the worst casting I've seen in a very long. Because he just doesn't give off an era of threat. Like he's so like little in like cheruby and like soft spoken
Yeah.
and kind of like, hey guys, I got these guns. I'll shoot you, bang bang. I'm gonna shoot you with my little cape. And he's like, okay, Hood, okay, go lay down, go meet me, Hood. I don't want to go meet me. I want to do crimes. I talk to the devil.
I want to do crimes.
I want to do crimes.
Yeah, he
It's
was.
like
He was
it
a
was so
little,
whack, dude.
yeah.
Like, like
But see, this is the thing that they do. This is the thing they just they throw everything like these standard formulatic equations into the situation. We have to put a female as the main character, right? So we have to make sure that she can beat the man. How is she going to beat the man? Well, he has to be weak enough for him to be able to beat, and that's their logic. Not she has the powers and the suit and this and that, and she beats him
She
with
was ripped though.
building new things
yeah,
and you know what I
Riri was
mean?
super buff. Why was
Yeah,
that?
but like that's the thing. But we've seen many a times where for somehow some miraculous reason, tiny ass female is always beating up big buff dudes. Like it's just not logical, no matter which way you look at it, unless she has certain powers, right? A female, I told you guys this last week, a female character, especially in superhero world, has to be written a very specific way. And this is not these women are not being written in specific ways. They're being written in general ways. They're being written the same way you would write a man. You can't do that. It's very unfortunate. And I don't care. It's not equality. We're not equal. I mean, get over it. Cry later about it. We're not fucking equal. Like, you can't just write something and think people are going to accept it. This is what makes Quentin Tarantino so good at what he does, because he tries to conform every scene that he writes and make sure that it's as realistic as possible, at the same time adding the bizarre aspects to every single one of them. That's what makes him so good. You can't just throw generic formulas at something for every character just because you're just trying to like err on the side of equality. It doesn't work that way. That's why these shows are written so stale.
But isn't that
I'm
what
a writer. This is coming from somebody who writes. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. I'm
But
not an actor. I'm not a black person, but I'm just coming from somebody who writes and enjoys things that have meat in them. And it's like, no, but I want more. Even with Daredevil, as much as I liked it, I wanted more.
but
So yeah,
isn't that the power of fantasy though? Isn't that the suspension of disbelief? That little Ahsoka can take out 17 stormtroopers because she's a woman with the
Ahsoka's a
Force?
Jedi.
I
That's
mean,
different. Ahsoka's a fucking Jedi, bro.
and
She could probably beat many a superhero if you put in Ahsoka versus a Marvel character. She could probably beat most of them actually.
Riri
That's
Williams
different.
I'm just
has a
gonna say
magically powered
Brian in
armor.
real life like studied Shaolin Kempo like as an adult, and I know quite a few 5'2" women
Who's
that can
Brian?
beat the living meat
Oh,
Brian.
you.
No, you're Wash. You
I'm
remember?
like, what is he talking?
Brian,
Okay,
like
okay,
third
yes.
person,
Okay.
and I
The
know
real
quite a
person.
few like 5'2" women that can beat the ever living shit out of like some 6'3" dudes,
Yeah,
given
that's
the
fine.
opportunity.
But
So
these are
it,
anecdotal though.
like I understand like what you're saying, but at the exact same time, for you to say that it's a complete falsity is wrong.
It
Like
is. No, it's
both.
not wrong, because
It,
we're speaking with anecdotals now. And because you know 3 women who can do that
I
doesn't
didn't
mean
say
every
three. I
woman.
said many.
It doesn't still anecdotal.
And we're
It
talking
doesn't mean
about
women can do this.
superheroes.
Yes, we
So,
are.
So
Yeah.
when we're
they're
talking about a
So
written
then
superhero who
so
is
then what you
buff,
brought up
who
is actually irrelevant, because we're talking about if we can't compare regular women to
yeah, well,
superheroes, right?
I'm using the real life version because you used such a blanket statement that it can't happen. So I wanted to like bring the reality to it that Yes, it can. And
Yeah.
then as we look at like the superhero writing, like yes, like there's a reason they didn't go get a, 5 foot like person not in shape to play the role. Like she's
And
strong.
I will
Like
say,
look at her body. She has a six pack. They did the
Yes,
same thing
she's
with Brie
strong. But
Larson
it still
for
goes back
Captain
to the
Marvel.
point that then why didn't they cast a strong guy for Hood? Why didn't they cast a big dude for Hood? Why?
You know
Why
what?
didn't why didn't they cast an
I'm gonna
accurately
actually
a
go to
character
Mike
specifically
and go,
accurate
hey
person for that?
Mike, let me ask you about the Hood. Is he a representation of this character or not as much? And we can ask like the comic specific, is Riri strong in real life, or is she like, oh no, I just get in this machine and
okay,
it like does the work for me?
I'll answer both questions. From my understanding of both the Hood and Riri Williams, which I've mentioned is very little. The Hood is not a beefcake. He's not the juggernaut. You know what I'm saying? He's not a big dude. He is he's kind of a lengthy, kind of almost like a Steve Buscemi, like like typical like skis bag. He's a dirt bag pretty much, who happens upon his magical cape and gets magical powers. Right? He's not formidable. It's the cape is doing most of the heavy lifting when it comes to the Hood, and he has a very criminal mind. He's very sharp when it comes to criminal shit. Riri Williams is a teenager who's inside of a nuclear weapon that is a armor that could do collateral damage to cities if she decided to. That's just the nature of Iron Man armor, all the way back from suit one to War Machine. So yes, the suit is doing all the heavy lifting, but it's the iron heart within Riri Williams that help her fight and defeat foes that she may not defeat without that iron will. That's the iron heart. Does this show convey that? Kinda. But it's to go to the argument of why are these weaker men being placed in a position of defeat to better uprise the ideal of the strong woman is once again a power of fantasy. And what is superhero shenanigans if not fantasy? What is it if not a suspension of disbelief? Uma Thurman killed the Crazy 88 with one samurai sword. Is that a suspension of disbelief?
No, she did that for real.
No, she kind of did that for real, didn't she?
That
Damn
was
Uma
for
Thurman.
real. Yeah.
Damn Uma Thurman.
Do you
But-
know who trained her, dude?
Yeah, Hattori Hanzo. No, Bill trained her in that one. Bonus points if you know the name of the ancient master that taught her the five finger death point.
Pai Mei.
Pai Mei, thank you. You got 5 points. 10 points for Gryffindor. But all that to say, I know we're about to hit time, but what is time but a construct? I am not looking forward to the future of Ironheart because of the ending. Because of the ending.
Well, there won't be a season 2.
I don't, like you said, never saying, like it's Sacha Baron Cohen is not coming back as Mephisto.
Well, no, it's been confirmed. There won't be a season 2
Well, I believe it.
of Ironheart.
I believe it.
Yeah.
But Riri Williams will return in Avengers: Age of Ultron. Is pretty much what we're getting. You'll see her somewhere. They're not just going to throw that character away.
Yeah. I hope not.
They can't.
I hope not. I hope there's something else that happens with it. This is a thing. It's like they have such potential in their hands and they do nothing with it. Like I'm telling you, like with Finn
It's
from
funny.
Force Awakens. Like they had it right there and they did nothing with it. And just because we don't like it, it doesn't make it our fault that we don't like it. Write something fucking better.
It's funny.
Stop wasting my time with panders. That's all I'm saying with it. The show itself is not bad. Ironheart on the surface is not bad, but how can I like a show where 1, the writing sucks, and 2, I don't even like the protagonist? Shouldn't you like the main character? Shouldn't that be the first interest of the show? You know what I mean? Yes, the suit's amazing. Yes, the cinematic, everything, pretty much everything about the show is not bad outside of the show.
But you know what it is, Toots? I feel like I'm being tricked because sometimes they'll write these characters for you not to like them, and then you don't like them and you're mad about it.
I feel like you're just making excuses, like
I'm
for whatever reason,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
just
shooting
trying to
Marvel
make
Bell.
excuses for it.
No, I'm shooting Marvel
But
Bell.
I'm trying to be. I mean, if we're gonna talk realistically about everything, this is the reality. It was a bad show. It could have been better. It should have been better, and people should be more offended that it wasn't.
I don't know about offended, but I think
Nope.
Yeah,
If we're gonna get
definitely not
offended,
offended.
if we're gonna get offended on the other side of the spectrum where you don't like it, oh how dare you? Then we need to be offended on the other side. No, this show sucked. Let's do something about it. Change it, because otherwise they're not going to change it.
I think, and I'll just say this straight out. I think if you're allowing fiction to offend you, you're way too into it. It's fictional characters. Either
I'm
you
gonna
like it or
take
you
it.
don't.
I'm going to take it one step further than all of that and go, if you're allowing things to offend you, you just need to take a step back. Like shit,
It's
dude.
the way
Like Day by
it's the
Daylight.
way that it's written. Like we're not watching. If that's the thing, the whole town is crying equality. The whole town is crying diversity. The whole town is crying representation. But nobody's crying that the representation that's being represented is wrong. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. That's where I'm coming from, and it all goes back to bad writing. That's the end all be all of it. And this whole show is about reviews. This entire show is about pop culture. Like, if we're gonna talk pop culture, we're gonna talk pop culture. Fuck it.
Well, I mean, we don't compare
I'm
things
not
here,
gonna.
but
We super
Well,
don't
yeah,
compare anything.
we don't compare things. Yeah, yeah.
You better not compare nothing.
Yeah, for sure. But like, it's just no. Like the whole thing is, we like to do reviews. We like to talk passionately about the things that we're passionate about, and this is mine. So I mean, that's all there is to that. Like I don't. I mean, I'm not interested in people agreeing with me. I'm interested in people just seeing the outside, seeing it for what it actually is. Again, like I said, I've been writing, I don't know, over 20 years. So I'm trying to just like, it sucks that I can't, and I won't, I refuse, but I can't get my foot back in the door enough to be like, hey, like do something different. Like this is all this does is inspire me to be like, I'm writing something on my own. Fuck these people. It won't go anywhere, but at least it's an outlet of something that somebody would be interested in. You know what I mean? Like it's really sad. I don't like seeing the Marvel universe go the way it is. Same thing with DC, same thing. And I don't know enough about them. All I know is that we have to grasp from different fucking branches in order to make sense of the one thing you're written. Get out of town. We're done. I'm done. Like I'm not doing that.
Well, one thing
And
I'll
I don't
say,
think any fan, to respect to all fans, shouldn't have to do that.
yeah, like and I'm thinking about like the big hero, the big. Let's say the big three: Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, the Trinity, right? And I think about their movies, and I think about the great ones, and I think about the duds. Even within the Trinity, there's bad movies. There's Thor: The Dark World, which was just bad. There's Iron Man 2, which I don't know what's worse, Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3. I kind of hate Iron Man 3. And a lot of people don't like the first Avenger. These are the bad versions of these characters that are beloved. You know, these are the big three. And if they're doing that with the big three, what are they doing with Riri Williams and Miss Marvel, the people they're trying to blow up? And the sad truth is too, just that writing something different and invoking something fresh is dangerous to a company like Disney. That's you know what, I know we gotta go, but all of Phase 4 was an experiment, and I've been saying.
You
this the
understand
whole
how
time.
much money they're losing now on the movies that they're putting out, though?
It's because it's all experimentation. If you look back at Phase 4,
So then why not experiment with something new as opposed to experiment with something that doesn't work?
they tried.
It's not
Look,
experimenting anymore.
look, okay. You say about new. Riri Williams is the very first African American female superhero to have her own show. That's new. Miss Marvel was the very first Middle Eastern girl to have her own show. What the hell was Werewolf by Night? Moon Knight, very first show that had to deal with superheroes going through psychological breaks and changes. She-Hulk was extremely different, extremely new, extremely bad. Marvel spent all of Phase 4 trying to throw everything at the wall and see what stuck, and none of it stuck. Because people don't want change. They don't want new. They want what they know. And if Disney is anything, they're nostalgic. Disney makes their bread and butter off, you know who Mickey Mouse is. You know what I'm saying? You know who Bart Simpson is. We bought all of it. You got to know what it is. So all Phase 4 was an experiment to see what they could push onto us and see what would stick. What if She-Hulk took off and that was a big multi-billion-dollar thing? Then everything would be She-Hulk right now. It could have.
Ironheart could have.
It could have.
Miss Marvel could have.
But it was
WandaVision
bad.
could have. WandaVision almost did, actually.
And it was
WandaVision
bad.
was the closest thing.
And it was
Yeah.
different. all of Phase 4 was an experiment that failed. You know why? Because it was reproduced way too fast.
Agreed.
It was quantity over quality.
Agreed.
And the only thing that they really put thought into was WandaVision because I had a particular that literally had quote unquote vision, no pun intended. But everything else was just kind of, can we do it? Can we do it? Can we put it out? Can we do it? And Phase 4 was a failure because they didn't give the quality, the Disney quality, to the quantity.
That's
And nobody,
it.
and it kind of ruined, it kind of ruined the golden seal of Marvel. At the end of Endgame, nobody could say nothing to Marvel. It was the best thing on sliced bread. This is peak, as the kids would say. But now Marvel's a laughing stock. We don't know what these movies are going to hold. You know, I'm definitely afraid for Fantastic Four. Is it going to be good? It has to be, kind of. But who knows? Who freaking knows? Is Superman going to be good? I kind of hope so. I'm making a lot of investments that it is. But you kind of have to... I think the sweet spot is nostalgia with a mix of freshness. You got to make it fresh. You got to do something different. But at the same time, you have to ground people in who are dumb, who are just like, ooh, I know that. Because that's what put asses in seats, and that's how you get a Billy. Like Deadpool and Wolverine. Was that fresh? I don't know.
Nope.
No.
No, not
But
at
it was
all.
sure nostalgic as hell, and it made a Billy. You know what I mean?
And it
It's
was
like-
written well.
And it was written well. They gave it a love touch. I think Disney lost that somewhere.
If they saturated, I think, a little bit too many characters. But
Yeah.
other than that, it was done well. It was done
So-
okay.
So I don't want I get you, Toots. I really understand what you're saying. I really do. And it's like we should ask more of our creators. We should ask more of our content. It should not talk down to us or browbeat us or pander to us. But I think you're gonna have to make an omelet. They're gonna have to break some eggs, and they're gonna have to actually get fresh talent in, and not AIs that are writing these scripts in a dark room. You know what I mean? Ryan Coogler was supposed to be.
It's the point I was making.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I
You
get
guys
it.
attacked me for it.
No, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I
Point
want to
was
say that.
making.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to seem like it's an attack. But the point, my final point, is that people say that T'Challa was written better by the Russo brothers in Civil War than he was in Black Panther, and I kind of agree with them. T'Challa was written better in Civil War than he was in Black Panther. I can't front that. Is it better writing? Maybe. Are these two like white men writing about T'Challa and getting it right because maybe they talk to the right people? Maybe they got the
Maybe
right
they're comic
influences?
book fans.
Maybe they know
they're
what they're
Black
talking
Panther
about.
fans.
Maybe yes.
Did we not assume that first? Other
Yeah.
than, like, yeah,
I can't front on how many comics. I'm not going to ask Ryan Coogler how many comics he read. I'm not gonna gatekeep him like that. But maybe if you talk to people who know what they're talking about and help you steer you in the right direction of these characters who already have an established kind of lineage or established history, maybe you'll nail these things a bit more than not at all. Is all I'm saying about Ironheart. Like and if it was written well, I shouldn't have to know anything about Ironheart for it to be good. I shouldn't have to know. Like I didn't know nothing about Ms. Marvel, but I walked away from it and enjoyed and learned a bit more about the character. But it technically wasn't really her origin. Anyway, Marvel needs to get it together. That's all I'm saying. And I hope that Fantastic Four is the start of something better. Written and produced. That's all I'm saying. And Toots, I just want to say I didn't want to come up as if I'm attacking you. I just want to push the point.
Oh no, it's fine. No, no hard feelings. We're good. That was a good debate. That was
Yeah.
fucking fun as hell.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that was good. No, like I was heard. You guys were heard. I get it. You know what I mean? And this is coming from not the comic book side of it. I'm coming from totally the outside looking in type view.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as somebody outside looking in, I just wasted hours watching something when I could have been spending that time doing something else. Is my point.
You could
It's
have been
not
making
why
a
I want to
bagel.
watch television. It's not why I want to watch TV.
Watch Burn
Okay,
Notice. That's
so-
what I'm saying.
No thanks. All right. Live every Friday night, 6 p.m. on YouTube. We are here, Masters of the Nerdiverse. Again, we're here tonight. I'm about to go back outside, have me another brewski. Just kidding. I'm going to have me a Truly because I don't know.
I can't
Anyway,
drink.
our Instagrams at Masters of the Nerdiverse Cast, at 2d.odin003. And for BWash, it's at Washescade.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Yes. So follow us on Instagram. We're there as well. Sometimes we update you guys on what's going on, and don't update you on Masters of the Nerdiverse. But either way, if you just follow us, you'll catch it. Our Twitches are the same with the exception of Masters of the Nerdiverse, which is MOTN_plays. MOTN Figured It Out final round is going to be this coming Wednesday, and that's going to be at 12 p.m. on YouTube, and that is Kingsman versus Kick-Ass, and I'm very excited for that. Tomorrow, 8 p.m., Figured It Out live on YouTube with Mr. Mike G himself. So those are our plugs.
And that was MOTN Random Select.
That's what I said.
I thought you said Figured It Out.
No, I said Figured It Out after.
Doesn't
It's
matter.
fine.
Who cares?
It's fine. Final thoughts before we close this bad boy out.
I have it written down.
Don't blow off your hands this weekend, people.
I know what I said.
Like that one Dodger fan who blew off his hand. You see that video of the Dodger
No.
fan who had the M80?
Why
in
would
his
I
hand?
watch the video?
Because we're sickos and we need to see it, dog.
No.
It was a Dodger fan who
No.
was at the game and he blew off his hand.
Yeah.
You could see the viscera and liquids of his hand.
Yeah, no.
Toots knows what I'm talking about.
What?
Toots knows
No.
You know about the Dodger fan viscera and liquids, right?
No, I've seen a lot of x-rays, though, of people with blown off fingers. So please be safe. Do not do that.
And
Don't do that. And do not drink and drive, please.
And just, okay, this is a PSA for everyone and everywhere. I know we got to go. Don't light fireworks in the middle of the damn day. What's the damn point? Why are we lighting M80s in the middle of the day? And sparklers, shit. Stop it. This has been Masters of the Nerdiverse. Be safe out there. Happy birthday, America. MOTN. Later, everyone.